kill me. Y'all ain't gonna kill me. No way, Saints. Not today. No. Ain't gonna kill me. I'm good. All right, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. All right. Welcome to another episode of the Good Intelligence Sports Podcast Show. Today, I got some more bad news. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way. It costs nothing. It helps grow the channel to more potential viewers that may share or not share the same view as I do. I don't make the news. I just give it to you. With that being said, we're going to jump right into it. Last night was the Dallas Cowboys versus New Orleans Saints game. This is a New Orleans Who Dat Nation channel. So I'm going to give you everything New Orleans Saints, right? Last night wasn't a good night for the Saints. It is what it is at this point. Saints are banged up. They're injured. But they just don't have it. They just don't have it. You think they can come out and compete. They do to a certain extent, but they're just undermanned, right? Let's get right into it. Last night, the Dallas Cowboys did everything in their power to come out and, kind of give the Saints the game. They weren't necessarily dominant over the Saints as the Buffalo Bills were. The Saints were very much into the game until the fourth quarter, as it's been with all 5 games now that they've lost. They're on a 5-game losing streak. All 5 games the Saints have been in except for Dallas. So 4 out of the 5 games the Saints were pretty much into the fourth quarter. Okay, so last night Taysom Hill got his first start of the season. Last season, Taysom Hill went an amazing 3-1 as the Saints starting quarterback when Drew Brees got injured. This year, he's 0-1. He's been injured himself. He's playing with a partially torn plantar fasciitis in his foot. He's off of a concussion from a couple of weeks ago. Last night, while playing in the game, he hits his finger on a defensive lineman's arm and injures his finger on his throwing hand and has to wear a splint on top of the finger, which I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that it affected some of his throws. Some of his throws, not all. Okay? But let's just be real here. From the quarterback play of what I've seen from Taysom Hill last night, he's not it. He's not. To my Taysom Hill fans out there, I'm sorry. Not sorry. But he's not it. And you have to come to the realization that Taysom is not it at quarterback. At quarterback. But Taysom has a role on his team. Taysom is really athletic. He has athletic superiority. He's just not a quarterback. He's not a quarterback. He is a wide receiver, tight end, running back. He's not a quarterback. We need to stop trying to put him into that role. It's like, right now, it's like putting a triangle block into a square shape. It's not going to work. But any position besides quarterback that you want to put Taysom Hill at, he'll absolutely play it. Last night, Taysom led the New Orleans Saints in rushing with 101 yards. 101 yards. Whenever he wanted to run the ball, whenever he wanted to scramble or anything, he picked up 5 and 6 and 7 yards. There's one play where he hurdled Kinsey in the middle of the field and then kept kept going and had to be dragged down by the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys were not expecting Taysom Hill. It's almost as if they underestimated his speed at quarterback, because he was running away from defensive backs and linebackers when he get into the second level. But when you try to force him to drop back and take 3 steps, 5-step drop and deliver the ball or read the zone or read where the blitz is coming from or who's the mic, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. And I've seen enough of Taysom Hill. It's a big enough sample size now. He's played 4 games last season starting for Drew Brees. He's played in the preseason. He played last night. I've seen enough. He's not a quarterback, period, point blank. He's not. But while he's not a quarterback, Sean Payton is a coach. And I have to say, Sean Payton's play calling last night was downright terrible. Terrible, as Charles Barkley would say. Terrible. There was a sequence in the game. I just spoke on Taysom Hill having over 100 yards rushing. Taysom Hill, whenever Sean would call QB power, which when they line up in 13 personnel, when they bring the 3 tight ends and 1 back onto the field, and they just line Taysom up, and he takes the snap, and then he runs either left or right behind the guard. When one guard pulls, Taysom picks up 5 and 7 yards every single time. So there's a sequence where the third quarter just ended. The third quarter just ended, and it's 3rd and 2. It's 3rd and 2. Instead of just lining up, calling QB power, getting the first down, Sean Payton wants to call a play-action pass where clearly Taysom doesn't identify Michael Parsons as coming on a blitz. And what happens? Micah comes free and gets a sack for 11 yards, while Taysom just eats the football. Because the pass to the play action to Ty Montgomery, and Ty Montgomery goes into the flat, it's not there because it's covered. It's covered. It's a zone blitz. The flat is covered, and Micah is free because you didn't identify him. He's on the line. He was on the line, showing he's blitzing. He just comes free. And Michael Parsons, although he's a rookie, he's one of the fastest linebackers in the league. You, as a quarterback, you have to identify that. I know who would have identified it. Jameis Winston. Do you miss him yet? Do you miss him yet? I seem to remember a whole lot of people giving Jameis an unfair shake. Do you miss him yet? They were 5 and 2 when he was playing. 5 and 2. They've lost 5 straight games without him at quarterback. Do you miss him yet? Sean Payton is a crackhead. Moving right along. The team stats, right? The Saints played a decent game, minus the turnovers. There's 4 of them interceptions by Taysom Hill. 4. Minus that. And I'm going to read them to you while I got time. Both teams had 17 first downs, right? The Saints ran 4 more plays than the Cowboys, which means more than likely they controlled the time of possession, which they did. Right? The possession was 31 minutes and 54 seconds for the Saints to the Dallas Cowboys 28 minutes and 6 seconds. The turnovers is what's cost the Saints. Dallas had 1 turnover. The Saints had 4. It's crazy. It really is to watch these games. You know, it really is. The Saints had better third down efficiency. It's just retarded. It is. And Saints are doing well. They're doing as well as they can do on defense. They are getting stops, and the offense is not converting. Period, point blank. They're getting stops, but the offense isn't converting. Which brings me to the defense, which I brought up. Marcus Williams has never. I ain't gonna say never. I'm gonna give him benefit of the doubt from his high school coaches. Marcus Williams hasn't done a tackling drill or pursuit drill since high school. I'm sure of it. The only thing he cares about is playing pass coverage. That he does very, very, very well. He's a ball-hawking safety. But when it comes to making a tackle or it comes to a pursuit of a player, he has no clue on what to do. Last night, when Tony puts that little move on Malcolm, when he puts the move on Malcolm, snatches Malcolm's ankles, and gets out the backfield, for a minute there, I thought Marcus Williams and Tony Pollard was racing to the end zone together. Get the angle and full speed pursue. Don't run with him. From the 30-yard line, he's running with Tony, trying to line him up. What the fuck are you doing? I'm sure of it. I am 1,000% sure Marcus Williams has no clue on how to tackle or pursue a runner. I am positive. If you don't believe me, you just need to watch his highlights of missed tackles over the years. The Minnesota Miracle isn't the only one. Man, there's just a lot to cover with this game and how bad the Saints are just playing right now. And it doesn't help when the referees aren't really calling the game down the middle. Last night, I seen a blindside block penalty called on the Saints tight end from a blitz pickup. Let's say that again. The referees called a blindside block in the backfield from the Saints tight end making a blitz pickup. Garrett Griffin comes across the formation to pick up a blitzing Cowboy and somehow gets a block in the back. No, I'm sorry. Blindside block. Not block in the back, but blindside. That's the shit you call on kick returns. What the man, look. I'm not going to. Referees have 9 to 5 jobs during the week. And on the weekend, the NFL flies them to whatever city and they referee a game. The NFL is a $1 billion 501c corporation. They can hire full-time referees. It's terrible. The calls week in and week out that affects games. And for my gamblers, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it because you lose money when the referee decide to either swallow the whistle or throw egregious flags. You lose money. I don't know what else to say about that. But that was a terrible call. There were more terrible calls, but that one just stuck out in my head. It was egregious. I want to bring up or talk about last night before the game. The NFL made a press release about Antonio Brown and a couple of other Buccaneers players being suspended for having fake vaccination cards. And a couple weeks ago, Aaron Rodgers lied about being vaccinated, and somehow my people are having a tough time understanding what the difference is between the two situations. I'm going to try my best to explain them because they're not the same. And I didn't think I would need to, but I've seen a couple posts where people are they're just confused. So here we go. In training camp, Aaron Rodgers made a request to the league when the league was asking players to be vaccinated, and made a mandate that their coaches and coaching staffs and team personnel, all of them, be vaccinated, right? So it's only mandatory on the coaching side and team personnel side that it's mandatory that they be vaccinated. Players do not have a mandate. So Aaron Rodgers makes a request to the league about a experimental procedure to immunize himself from COVID. Okay, so he asked the league's doctors in the league basically if he can take the Inverticin. Am I saying that right? I don't know what I don't know, but experimental drug. Would that be considered him being vaccinated? And the league told him emphatically, no. So Aaron knows that he's not vaccinated. The league knows he isn't vaccinated. And the Packers team organization knows that he isn't vaccinated. The media, while this is all going on, asks Aaron Rodgers if he's vaccinated. And Aaron stops short of saying yes and says, yeah, I'm immunized. And he goes on to elaborate about him not having a problem with players that do not want to be vaccinated, that it's up to them, it's their personal choice and whatnot. Versus Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown's situation is he tried to get his personal chef to get him a fake vaccination card, to obtain one. When the personal chef was not able to, Antonio Brown, found a way to get one from his teammate on the Buccaneers. Antonio Brown refuses to pay his chef. Some kind of way they fall out. The personal chef, rats on Antonio Brown and says he has a fake vaccination card. And the league investigates, finds out that it is true. Now, those situations are different. One, because Antonio Brown caught COVID in September. The league has a mandate, if you're not vaccinated, that you must sit a mandatory 10 days before you can return to the team. If you are vaccinated, then you just must test negative and then you can come back to the team. You don't have to sit a mandatory 10 days. As soon as you test negative, you can come back. Well, Antonio Brown circumvented that policy and procedure when he had his fake vaccination card. According to the NFL, they thought he was vaccinated. According to the NFL, they knew Aaron Rodgers was not vaccinated, which is why they fined him, because he did not follow the unvaccinated procedures when giving interviews of wearing a mask and wearing a mask around team facilities. The Saints had the same problem last season. The Saints violated that policy multiple times, which ended up with them losing draft picks. But no Saints player was ever suspended. The team was just hit with multiple fines because they were not honoring the COVID-19 policies. This is totally different. Antonio Brown lied to the league. Antonio Brown needs to be happy so far that he is not being charged with a federal crime of having a fake vaccination card. The league knew Aaron Rodgers was not vaccinated. The Packers organization knew Aaron Rodgers was not vaccinated. The public didn't know. You and I didn't know. We don't matter in the terms of the league's eyes. There's such a thing called HIPAA in the medical field. Well, they cannot release your personal medical information without your consent. All these times where the league comes out and says such and such player has tested positive for COVID-19, those players have given consent that their medical records or that the test be acknowledged publicly. If any of those players said no, they don't want the public to know, then guess what? The league will not say a word. Okay? They will probably come up with, oh, he's out for personal reasons this week. And leave it at that. They will not release any medical information unless the player says it's okay to do so. Okay? That's why the public didn't know about Aaron Rodgers not being vaccinated. But the league was fully aware that he was not vaccinated. The Packers organization was fully aware, which is why they were fined. Antonio Brown presented false documents to the league to say he was something that he was not. That's the difference. Everything isn't about race. Sometimes a stupid ass person is just a stupid ass person. And Antonio Brown has shown multiple times that he ain't the fucking brightest light on the tree. He's just dumb. There's no need to defend ignorance. There's no need to do that. So that's my thoughts on the situation. Antonio Brown needs to serve his 3-game suspension. He acknowledged that he would not appeal that 3-game suspension. So more than likely, he's like, yeah, you caught me. I was being dumb, which is kind of ridiculous now because they say that he is vaccinated now, for real. Then why not get the shit a couple months ago? Why go fake? Why present a fake vaccine card to the NFL when it wasn't mandated that you be vaccinated? I don't understand that shit. I don't get that. This has been another episode of the Goon Intelligence Sports Podcast Show. If you like the videos, please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to start doing this more consistently, like I said on my previous video. Saints fans, hang in there. It's going to be a couple of more games that we don't maybe have a snowball's chance in hell. I believe the Saints do have the Jets coming up. We could possibly win that. I'm at the point where I'm like, play Ian Book. Let's see what the rookie got to offer. Play Ian. It's time, right? What more do you have to lose? We're losing anyway. Play Ian, see what you got in the Notre Dame quarterback, and let's just go from just go from there. Next season is going to be a nice, hopefully a nice draft. We're going to have a top 15 pick, maybe top 12 if this shit continues. Could be top 10. So hang in there, Saints fans. But this has been Goon signing out. See you on the next one. Peace.